I'd always thought like I had to be like this like perfect kid. I could just never make mistakes, always, just had to do everything right. And that was a lot to like take on, but having such a great community around me, I just knew that no matter what I did, everyone would always be there to support me and always be there to lift me up and bring me back to my highs.
Have you ever felt like you had to be perfect to succeed? You are not alone. In this week's episode of The Good Stuff, we talked to a high schooler named Shreya, who is so accomplished, but to get there, she had to accept a lot of the things that made her vulnerable. Here's this week's episode of The Good Stuff.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Bright Sided Podcast. I'm Ashley Fragamenti, the CEO of Girls Inc. of the Greater Capital Region, and I am guest hosting in Christine's place today, and I am doing so with my friend and Girls Inc. girl, Shreya. Say hi, Shreya.
Hi.
And I'm so excited to introduce you to Shreya. She is going to talk to us a lot about her Girls Inc. journey and experience, but just to give you a quick I don't even know. I can't even say it's going to be quick because let me tell you all of the things that Shreya does. She is a 2-time published author and illustrator of her own books, which we are going to talk about. She is the Girls Inc. of the Greater Capital Region Eureka Girl of the Year. She is a Girls Inc. National Brand Ambassador. She is part of Girls Inc. Teen Advocacy Council, both locally and nationally. Yeah. She is a scholar. She's an athlete. She's a dancer. She is everything. She's everything. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I think you got it all.
Oh my gosh. And she most recently spoke nationally at our Girls Inc. luncheon in New York City, which was honestly quite the moment. I did get a tear when you got I did. I had to. I was like, this is so crazy. I love that this is happening. Oh my gosh, so I did forget one thing. She's also the CEO of Gleebox.
Yes, there's
CEO
that.
And founder. There's that. So we are sitting here, CEO to CEO, and we're going to chat about all things girls empowerment, Girls Inc., and Shreya. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Okay. So Shreya, let's start a little bit with hearing from you about your Girls Inc. experience, how it started, how you got involved.
So my mom's a dance teacher, and a bunch of her students had actually gone through Girls Inc. So they were like just talking about it. I think someone had actually asked her to write a letter of recommendation. So then she was like, what is this? Like, this sounds cool. And at the time, like I think I was in 6th grade. So they were like, you should definitely join the Eureka program. So I had reached out and got my interview, got in, thought it was so cool and everything. But I think really starting at Girls Inc., I mean, to be quite frank, it was like kind of a resume booster at the time. I was just like, they're going to give me internships and that's it. And like, I mean, I was like, okay, so just girls supporting girls, like what else does that really give me other than just, like these opportunities to advance myself? I mean, I quickly realized that was so not like the truth. Like there is so much more that you could get from being with such a community like that. And I really started to feel like so much support around me, just always and constantly. And I think that was so different than what I was so used to, because I'd always thought like I had to be like this like perfect kid. I could just never make mistakes, always, just had to do everything right. And that was a lot to like take on, but having such a great community around me, I just knew that no matter what I did, everyone would always be there to support me and always be there to lift me up and bring me back to my highs. So I think from there, I just really grew a lot and grew a lot in the Eureka program and then started going nationally. And now it's like super cool. And I'm so excited to be part of Girls Inc.
And now you're an 11th grader.
Yes.
Doing all of these things.
Yeah.
So how many years of internships have you been a part of so far?
I think I've only done 2 internships.
Okay, and where did you do your internships?
I did my first one at NAMI, New York State. I really wanted at the time to go into medicine. So I was just like, and I wanted to be a psychiatrist. So I was like, okay, medicine, mental health, let's do it. And then quickly in 10th grade, I was like, so that's not what I want to do. I can barely get through high school. How am I going to do 14 more years of this? So I was like, that's not happening. So then I think I shifted to business a little bit. So then my second internship was at the Albany Center Gallery. And I got to learn a lot about like how small business works and see how community and business work together, and how business is not just like all about making money, but also about lifting the community as well.
And then most recently, when we were in New York City with a lot of national board members, you met a senior executive from Coca-Cola.
I did.
Who said, hey, Shreya, maybe we could talk about an internship.
Yeah, it was
which
super
would be
cool.
wild if that
Amazing.
comes. I'm sure it will come to fruition. But that was such a cool experience to watch that all happen in the sum of like 24 hours. You got to meet a lot of people that.
No, that event was amazing. Like, I feel like I really worked fine like networking.
I know. Well, when Shreya, so it was so funny. So Shreya's given you a little bit of kind of her Girls Inc. story, how she came to be with us and all the things. But when she was chosen to speak at the luncheon, there was an application process, correct? You had to apply?
Well, I kind of just like reached out and I was like, so I heard there's a luncheon, and also I live in New York. So like, can I just like come? And they were like, well, yeah, there's like 6 girls. And I mean, right now we're just trying to choose some, so you might not get to go. But I was like, okay, well, I really hope I do.
Right. So they reached out to me and said, hey, you know, we just kind of want your green light on this student who is in the running to potentially be a speaker. And I responded to that email. Obviously, I still have it, but I responded to that email, capital letters, like, woohoo, like you have never picked a better student. And they're like, okay, hold on a second. Like, we didn't pick her yet. We're just letting you know she's in the running. I immediately reached out to my team and I said, I just want everyone to know Shreya is going to get this opportunity. There's no way she's not. They're going to meet her and be like, yes, we have to do this. So obviously we were all rooting for you, but also so excited when you did officially get the post. But to go back to something you said a few minutes ago, which was about how you kind of grew up feeling like you needed to be perfect, not make a mistake. You know, I do a lot of speaking about Girls Inc. from a 50,000 foot view perspective, if you will. So I talk a lot about, you know, how we offer programs, who we offer the programs to. And I also speak a lot about how no one's ever going to get from me, you know, what they would get from a Girls Inc. girl. But it's interesting because one of the things I focus on a lot when I talk about the school age through career way that we serve girls is that we offer them this kind of safety net to fail, try something new, decide that if they're interested in something, they still have the tarmac, if you will, to change their mind and try something else. Can you talk a little bit about how you're growing up the way you said, you know, a little bit afraid to make a mistake, to not be perfect, how really Girls Inc. has played a part in you navigating that world or that feeling?
Yeah. One thing I'd like mentioned even at the luncheon was that like that pressure to be perfect, like didn't really just like go away. It was more that I realized, okay, people are telling me like, you're amazing, you're this, like from all those remarks that I used to get, I used to think of them like, oh my goodness, like now I have to live up to like what they think of me. Like I just have to be amazing all the time. Like that was the mindset I had. But I think once I was at Girls Inc., I really started to see how genuine people were. Like people weren't just saying it to like say it because like, you know, you got something so they just have to be nice to you. Like it wasn't like that. It was like these people are so just there to root for you. And I think, you know, having that community and like that family that's just always going to support you, you know, you don't really find that anywhere. And I'm so glad that I found it so early in Girls Inc. and just like with the people that I have around me, that I think whenever people do say something like you're doing amazing things, like now it's just like, okay, now I have to continue doing that because I want to continue making like an impact. I want to continue having like that purpose to keep doing it, if that makes sense. So it's just like that perfectionist mindset kind of transformed into like, okay, now I have to go and put that out there into the community. And like, they're just giving me motivation to keep going.
Right. Yeah. It sounds like what you're talking about, at least what I'm hearing you say, is that Girls Inc. gave you the ability to take that kind of perfectionism and turn it into reality. Like reality is that nothing's perfect.
Yes.
And it's okay to be okay with that reality kind of thing.
You know something that we love here at The Good Stuff? It is a leadership development program, and not just any leadership development program, a leadership development program specifically for girls. That's why I am so proud to share that Girls Inc. of the Greater Capital Region is one of the sponsors of The Good Stuff. Girls Inc. of the Greater Capital Region started in 1937. And since then, they have been empowering girls to reach their full potential, providing mentorship and life-changing opportunities for girls in Albany, Schenectady, Troy, especially girls that face real barriers like bias, trauma, and girls who have limited access to opportunity. From STEM-focused after-school programs to college and career pathways like the Eureka program, Girls Inc. is preparing girls not just to succeed, but to lead. And here's something we love. 83 cents of every dollar goes directly to programming, creating impact where it matters most, because when girls rise, communities rise. To learn more, to support their mission, or to get involved, head to girlsinccapitalregion.org. That's girlsinccapitalregion.org.
All right, I really want to talk about Shreya outside of Girls Inc.
Okay.
Okay, so I mentioned a lot of things. Let's talk a little bit about the hidden realm.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
let's start with the first book.
Yes.
So I was brand new to Girls Inc. when you wrote your first book.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me. So I have some background on how the second book came about, but talk to me about this idea of where the first book came from and how you got to actually publish.
Yeah, so it was COVID. I was bored by myself at home. I don't have any siblings, so that was just like a lot of free time. And I had signed up for like this writing program that was online. And it was like you would just make 100 like word story. You kind of like put it together and print it out, and they taught you like how to like bind everything and all of that. So I came up with this idea, and I always loved writing. I would just always think of stories all the time. Never actually finished it, though. I'd write the beginning, and then that was it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Like the
Yeah.
first chapter, or just like an intro, like synopsis?
Probably like 10 sentences.
Okay.
And then I was just like, so where do I go from there? So I always had these like ideas. And then this was the first story, even though it was like 100 words, that I had a full beginning, middle, end.
Okay.
And I wrote it out. And there was that. And then my mom was like, well, you're not really doing anything anyways. Might as well actually like turn this into something. So I was like, okay. And at the time I was 11. I started just like fully writing it out and like, you know, creating chapter names, really going into some of the characters. And I think I was around like 12 when I finished the first like manuscript of everything, and that was when we started going back in person. So I didn't really have like, I mean, not that I didn't have much time. I was in 7th grade, like I wasn't doing anything, but like still it was like I was back to like seeing people again. And for me, I just kind of fell off, and I was like, I don't really want to do anything else with this. But then my mom was like, you know, you've like made such a great book, like you should really pursue it. So I was like, okay. And then we found a publisher, and we were like, do you like it? And they were like, yeah. So then because I was 13 at like this time, they really helped me a lot with editing it, and there's a lot of back and forth. And then, you know, they said okay, and final draft, we sent it in, and like I drew some pictures on Procreate because I was getting into like, you know, digital drawing and everything like that, and then sent it in. It was all good.
Also drew some pictures. The illustrations are amazing.
Thank you.
And sometimes when I look at that book, like both books, I'm just so in awe because I got to tell you, my creative prowess stops at polka dots.
Yes.
That's it. Like sometimes when I'm in the after school programs or when I used to work at the YMCA, I would literally have staff and children say, please don't come in during art. Like
oh my
you
goodness,
need to,
stop.
yeah. No, I'm not.
Your polka dots are amazing.
I'm polka dots and glitter everywhere. It's really.
Who doesn't love glitter though?
Okay, so you wrote the first book. You did a book launch. Girls Inc. was heavily involved. We were so excited for you. And then I get an email earlier this year, and I find out there's a sequel to the book.
There is.
And there's a book launch party, and can I speak at this book? I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. So your mom, who is an angel, by the way, she's amazing.
She's amazing.
She spoke at the book launch, and she actually held up the original piece of paper that you wrote out the chapters, the names of the chapters.
Yeah.
While you were in the car on the way to Florida for vacation.
I think so.
Okay. She held that up, and I was just like, this kid is amazing. Like she's just in the back of the car like, hey, I'm going to write a second book. So talk to us a little bit about how the second book came about.
So with the first book, you know, I go to all these book events locally. And the first year was great. People were buying it and it was awesome. But then like the second year rolls around and people already have the book. And then I'm kind of just there and I'm like, it would be really cool if I had more books than just one. And the good thing was that I was young, so my age was an appeal to them. They were like, okay, she's like 13, 14 years old. Like, I want to buy her book. And so I wanted to do something more. And like, you see these other authors around you who have like these writing degrees and they have multiple books on their stands. And it just kind of felt like I wanted something else. And for the longest time ever, I was trying to think of an idea and I really wanted to do something that was different than the hidden realm. Because I was like, I can't think of anything else. Like, I don't know what else I could possibly like explore with this. So I was trying for a really long time. I would come up with an idea, but just like it didn't click and I didn't know how to move forward with it. And then one day, I don't even know how, I just like was thinking, I think I was talking to my mom and we were like trying to brainstorm some stuff. And then like, it just like, I got it. And I was like, okay, this is the story. So then I write it all down. And as I said, I was in the car and I wrote down the chapter names and just to like figure out the storyline and like outline all of that. And then I go home and I think I started writing in my sophomore year, so last year. And I was like probably 14, 15. I'm writing it all out. Obviously, my writing is a lot better than when I was 11, so it came a lot easier than it did before. I finished the manuscript, I think, at the end of sophomore year, so right before like summer and everything. This one was, instead of this publishing company, I like self-published it. I was in the process a lot more. And compared to the first time, like there was a lot of people helping me, like someone had actually like kind of come up with the book cover themselves, told me how to like all the fonts would go, put all these like little magical elements in. And I was like, oh wait, that's so cool. And that was really helpful for the first time. But the second time, no one was doing that for me.
Okay.
And no one was telling me like the font size or like how much I had to space it out or even the front cover. So I had to do all of that by myself. And I think I'm a lot more proud of this book because I can say that it was basically like all me.
Yeah,
so,
labor of love that you really took on.
So glad it's out. And now I have something new to bring to these
I know.
book events.
And I know at your book event, this last one, people were asking you, is there going to be a third book? Does that feel like pressure?
I mean, I just laugh every time because, now I'm kind of entering like end of junior year, saw a senior year and then college. So if it does come, it comes. But it's more just like if I get the idea and I have the time to do it, then I would love to do it because I do like writing a lot. There's always the possibility. I didn't think I was going to write a second book, but here we are.
Right.
So
now I do want to talk a little bit about Rachel, the main character in the book. It's interesting that you are an only child and you wrote Rachel as a sibling. She has a younger brother. And what I really liked about that is that I have a younger brother.
Really?
And so when I read that first chapter where he is just antagonizing her, and I'm like cracking up reading it because that is you literally captured what it's like to have a sibling in those first few pages. It was
awesome.
cracking me up. But can you talk to me just a little bit about, Rachel and why this, getting into the painting and having to discover this magical world and get this world back to where it's supposed to be before she could leave? Just talk to me about kind of how you apply that magical fantasy world, like in real life. Like, how did you come up with that?
Well, first talking about like the brother and being an only child, I always wanted a sibling growing up.
Okay.
So that was just like, okay, I have to do that. And then I was like, I don't really want them to be sisters because I only write about girls, so I'm going to write about a boy. And that was my 11-year-old thinking.
Okay.
But then also when I was 11 in COVID, I loved painting. I was like really, really big into painting. Now, if you ask me to paint something, there's like, I do not have the talent I did. But I really love to paint. And so I wanted to bring that into my character. And I think I wrote the character a lot off of myself as well when I wrote it, because at the time, like, it wasn't like for a book. I wasn't thinking I was going to publish it.
Right.
I just was like, I'm going to write a story. And the easiest person that you can write a character off is yourself because you know yourself the best.
Right.
I think there are so many elements of her and of her story that I feel like I relate to and have taken inspiration from me. I think I just like took an idea, found it, and I just started rolling with it. And then, you have your classic hero saves the world story, and then it just ran from there.
Love it.
It might happen after school, in the car ride home, when your kid tells you about something they did that day. and you realize just how proud you are of them. And sometimes you wish the whole world could see it too. All across the capital region of New York State, kids are doing pretty amazing things. They're donating to charities, volunteering with local nonprofits, winning national competitions, creating art that ends up in museums and even on billboards. Others are competing in statewide chess tournaments, leading community projects, or finding small ways to make a big difference. But a lot of those stories don't always get the recognition they deserve, and we want to change that. If you know a student who's doing something good, here's how to nominate them to be featured on our show. Send us an email at thegoodstuff@brightsighted.com or post on social media and tag us at Brightsighted Media, because every kid doing good deserves to be seen.
I do want to shift a little bit to Gleebox.
Yeah, sure.
So can you talk to me as the CEO and founder of Gleebox? Can you talk to me about how the idea came about and your steps that you took to really make this idea into an actual nonprofit, a 501c3?
Yeah. Gleebox is founded under the YWCA of the Greater Capital Region. The idea for it actually came when I was in the club called the Changemakers Club, and I did it all throughout middle school. And when I was in 9th grade, I actually went back to the middle school, and I would stay after really late and continue doing the club. But then our advisor for the club left for another school. So we had built a really good relationship with Joseph's House. And Joseph's House, like, you would like do a donation drive with them. A lot of times we would get items that you would like, no one would really want to receive.
Mm-hmm.
And people think like, oh, it's donation, like they should be grateful. But no person really should feel like that when they're getting an item for themselves. And that was something I think the club really taught me, that, any person you give an item to, like, it should be given with like dignity for them. You really have to care about the fact that they're human first and that, they would want to wear it. And I learned a really valuable lesson there. But then when I was thinking about like even just creating something for myself, the idea of Gleebox came to me. And at first, Gleebox was just you put your like basic care items in a box, you wrap it up, make it look really nice, and then you give it to the person. And I had approached Joseph's House with this idea. And they were like, well, we get a bunch of donations. How are you different? And I was like, well, mine looks pretty. And then they were like, I like that. But then the items you're putting in are the exact same that we get. So then how are you different? And then I thought about it for a really long time. And I was like, I felt really defeated afterwards because I was like, I worked so hard on this.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized that maybe Gleebox didn't have to be like your normal items, and it could just be like gifts. So I put in little things that really any person would like to receive, like, lip balm, because, like lip balm is such an essential, but at the same time, I feel like people often forget about it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And you just give it a normal gift and then you just wrap it up, you make it look really pretty. We do a little bow on it and everything. And then it really focuses on the fact that you have to remember like the humanity in people despite what their circumstances are.
And you have delivered officially over 700 Gleeboxes since its inception, which was in 2024, right? Yes. Yeah. Amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of that. It's so cool.
Thank you so much.
And you've won awards for Gleebox.
Mm-hmm.
The Sunmark Award. Can you remind me what the name of that award was?
Yes, it's cool to be kind.
Cool to be kind.
It is
I
cool.
remember thinking, it is cool. And I remember thinking, dang, I wish we had that as an award name, because that is a really cool award name. Eureka Girl of the Year, Sunmark Cool to be Kind, National Speaker at the Luncheon. I mean, the accolades, they keep coming. Yeah, and I think it speaks back to what you were saying before, is that you've had to grow up kind of going against this norm that you knew, which was I have to be perfect, I can't make a mistake. So how do you cope when things get stressful? I know for me, there have been some times recently in the last couple of years where Girls Inc. or me personally have gotten some recognition, and it's really lovely and really wonderful, but it does not give me imposter syndrome. I don't know if that's something you experience. I don't experience imposter syndrome as much as I go to the, okay, so then if I achieved this, what's the next thing? Because I can't just stop achieving now. And that's a little bit about how I grew up. I am a very achievement oriented person. I like to achieve the thing, and then I like to know what the next thing is that I could achieve. I don't ever look at an award and think, oh, maybe I wasn't deserving enough, or maybe I wasn't the one. But I am definitely always nervous about what could come next. And if nothing comes, then where does that leave me?
I'm very much the same in that way. But I think I've started to realize that, like, you know, like you win some, you lose some. And I've learned that a lot with dance, especially like, you know, being on a competition team and going to competitions. It's taken a while, but like, you know, even with dance, like the fact that you win an award doesn't determine the type of person you are.
Right.
And I think that's the same outside of dance as well, that like I'm still a good person and I still have so many people who would say good things about me. And I think the most important thing is that, like, you know, you have a good heart and you're trying to do the next right thing. I think that's just something I started to like live by.
I love that.
Yeah, very happy about that.
So what do you do for fun?
For fun? Well, I love to dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you
dancing.
still competitively dancing?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like to read?
I do like to read.
Okay.
But I haven't had as much time to read as I would like.
Do you like to read the same types of books that you've written, or do you have a different
No.
genre? Okay, what do you like to read?
Yeah, I'm a romance girl.
Romance?
Through and through.
I'm like thriller, mystery.
Really?
Yes, I
Wow.
want to get to the end and be like, I did not see that coming.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
romance.
I always read if it's a thriller book, I will read like the last page first, like the last chapter.
You are the second person in my life that I've known to say that, and the other one is my mother. And I think that is an incredibly diabolical characteristic.
I just like to know what happens. Like even with shows, like I will search up a show, like the characters, and like find the whole synopsis of the show, like after I watch the first episode, because I just want to know.
That is insane. See, that to me says that you have trouble relaxing. Like you can't just let it happen. Because my mom, when she told me that, we would trade books back and forth, and she would say, okay, like don't worry, the guy in the end he gets his, and I'm like, why are you telling me that? You know, that's literally a spoiler, you know. But she had to know ahead of time that the antagonist was going to get his in the end, and I'm like, okay.
I mean, when I first started watching Suits, the first thing I did was search up the entire show and then figure out who Mike was going to end up with. Because I just wanted to make sure, you know, I just had to know for sure.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny. Can we talk a little bit about TAC?
Yeah.
So Teen Advocacy Council. So your first experience with this was nationally.
Yes.
And you are on the Teen Advocacy Council locally as well. Okay, so Girls Inc. of the Greater Capital Region did not have a TAC until this year, which is why the local efforts have kind of just begun.
Yeah.
We work specifically locally with Carrie Herring. She is our Woman of the Year, actually. We haven't, by the time this does air, we'll have said that out loud to the whole world, but we haven't yet. So she's our Woman of the Year for Girls Inc. And she's fantastic.
She's so bright. She has so much energy.
She's
and I love
so
it.
bright.
Yeah.
In a world where because she's a lobbyist, so her world is politics 24/7, 365.
Yes.
And she just is one of the happiest, nicest people. It's really lovely.
She has a pink suit and it looks gorgeous and I really want it.
She wore a full rose suit. Like it was huge flowers. I believe there were roses to our Valentine's Day event. And I was just like, oh my gosh. She wears a suit so well.
Yes.
She looks so professional. Like you want to follow her wherever she's going. Like I need to go where she's going. But National Teen Advocacy Council was your first experience with TAC. And you guys did some big stuff.
Yeah. Last year, me and 10 other girls, we went to Washington, D.C. We were on Capitol Hill and we were lobbying like directly with representatives and like their assistants and stuff. My group specifically was lobbying on a bill called HR 3644, which is a bill to expand menstrual equity and like, you know, access to menstrual hygiene products. And we actually got Representative Lori Trahan of Massachusetts to co-sponsor our bill.
Amazing.
So it was a really like cool and like life-changing experience, like to think that high schoolers could actually make like political change. That was genuinely one of the best experiences of my life. So
that's amazing. And you went with 10 other girls from across the country, correct?
Yes.
Which is the cool thing about Girls Inc. because there are 76 affiliates in the US and Canada. We as executives and leadership of the organizations, we work really well together, but we're trying to take more steps to make sure that the youth are working together. And every time we've done that so far, at least in my 6 years with Girls Inc., it has proven to be a huge success.
Yes.
So it's great data collection of why we should keep doing this and why it's so important to make sure that girls have the opportunities and experiences, not just locally, but broadly, to see exactly what you just said, how much they can affect change.
And it's not even just that. They're literally like such amazing people. And I am so glad I had the chance to meet them. And I keep in touch with literally all of them. And they're all amazing. And I'm so proud of everything that they're doing. I'm honored to know them.
Yeah. Now, outside of Girls Inc., one of the other things, outside of Girls Inc. and Gleebox and writing your own book, one of the other things that you do that I didn't mention in the beginning is you sit on the Colony Youth Advisory Board.
3 schools, my school and then 2 other schools that are located near us, we all come together once a month and kind of just like talk about different issues in our community and also, you know, different things that are going on in our school. Like we had a lobby day, we were talking about like AI usage in schools and like the regions and how that affects like New York. And yeah, I mean, it's just a great environment to be around and the people are also amazing as well.
And I got to speak at one of your meetings.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it was a very well-run board meeting.
Really?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Like I missed it. I really wanted to come.
That's okay, because I was really just, again, blown away by the professionalism of the board members. I mean, that gavel went down and it was time to start. There was no joking around. Yeah, it was great. So Shreya, I just have to say in closing here, I feel very lucky to know you.
Really?
I love to be in your presence. I am in constant awe of you.
Thank you.
I have really enjoyed, especially in the last year, the amount of times that you and I have gotten to work together, including this podcast.
Yes.
I have loved watching you shine. I love being able to use Girls Inc.'s platform as an opportunity to showcase the person and student and Girls Inc. girl that you are. I love that the organization is able to support you in the way that we do, but I really think that you are offering us back so much more than we could ever probably give you.
No.
So I really just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being the person you are. I can't wait to see. When you said that nonprofit work would be like your dream, I'm like, do you want my job right now? Because you could do it. So just thank you for being who you are. It is, you are inspiring, not just, I think, to people younger than you or your peers, but you should know that you're inspiring the adults around you too, because I am constantly motivated and inspired by you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Ashley.
so much.
No, I'm so glad I know you. I feel like, I mean, as I said before, like Girls Inc. is truly like the reason that I am even half the person that I am today. I owe everything to Girls Inc. And I'm so, so grateful that I know amazing people like you and everyone back at like the GCR. You guys have been the reason for everything for me. And I am so, so thankful.
Oh, thank you.